Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to take a quick look at Roblox. This is, I want to say, an investor favorite in the metaverse world right now. The stock price is doing really well. It's up about 68% year to date. It has been amazing towards the market. On today's episode, I want to take a quick look at what are some of the bullish cases, but more importantly, also what are some of the bearish cases for Roblox. If this is your first time here, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and check out the pinned comment where I have 10 free stocks for you. It's 10 free stock ideas for you, and I also have my weekly newsletter, which is completely free, and I have presentations like this of Roblox of all the information that I've covered. I'm going to be doing this every single quarter, so make sure to stay tuned with that. So let's get started. So Roblox right now is sitting at $117.49. The market is pretty green. Roblox is not far behind. It's up about 3.3% today. So congratulations to all investors. Roblox, we can see from its from its all-time highs, the stock is down about 12.5% or so, depending on when you're looking at it. I think it might have updated about 12.86 down. So it's a very volatile stock. Right now, I want to say this is probably one of the few stocks that hasn't taken much of a hit. If we take a look at this chart, hasn't taken much of a hit compared to some of the other growth stocks we're seeing out right now. So let's just jump into earnings. So quarter three, which they reported in November 8th, about a month ago. So we're going to take a quick look at earnings, but also some recent news. Quarter three bookings were $637.8 million. For me, in the gaming industry, I prefer to look at bookings over revenue. And this is up 28% year over year. And unfortunately, it is down a bit quarter over quarter. It's down about 4% quarter over quarter. But we can see Roblox has been doing pretty strong since kind of this COVID action has taken place. But it continues to grow year over year. Their cash flow from operations is $181.2 million. So they are positive in cash flow from operations, and this is what you want to see, right? You want to see a company that is growing at crazy levels but also has an influx of cash flow. I think those are some strong margins. Unfortunately, that cash flow from operations is down a bit when you take a quick look at quarter over quarter and also year over year. Not by much, but something investors should keep in mind of. What I think is very interesting is the daily active users. This jumped 31% this year, up to 47.3 million. That is up, like I mentioned, 31% year over year and 9.5% quarter over quarter. And you can see this is insane how this company has increased in daily active users every single quarter. It continues to go up. Many people thought this was just a COVID play, but this is kind of showing us that, hey, it is not just a COVID play. It's one that can continue to grow even as things kind of open back up. Do you want 10 free stock picks right now? Well, if you do, let's take a quick listen to today's sponsor, a great reason why I'm able to provide so much content to you guys for free. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You all know how much I love researching new stocks and trying to find the next best investment. So I'm proud to partner with The Motley Fool to bring you 10 free stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beat the market by more than 4x. Go to fool.com/Jose to get your free 10 stock picks now. What I really like though is back then Roblox used to be more of a kid's game, right? And this quarter was actually the first time that users over the 13 and over led daily active users. So 13 over were about 23.8 million users, and about 13 under were 23.1. So it's a small beat right now. 13 and over is a little bit higher than under 13, but this kind of shows that, hey, this is not just a kid's game, and we're going to take a quick look at why in some of the highlights. But like I mentioned, this is the first time 13 and over leads in daily active users. And when I first looked at this, I'm like, okay, maybe you're seeing a huge increase in 13 and over, but maybe those are just previous 13 and unders that obviously had birthdays, have gotten older, and now they fall under the new category. And I thought what was going to happen is, even though daily active users for 13 and over increase, I thought hours engaged were going to be led by 13 and under, but that's not the case. Hours engaged were about 11.18 billion hours. That is insane. That was up 28% year over year and 14.9% quarter over quarter. Again, the 13 and over group took a majority of that. It was about 5.73 billion compared to 13 and under, which were 5.37. So this kind of shows you that, hey, the 13 and over is not just the daily active users, they're also increasing in hours engaged. And I thought that was pretty impressive. So overall, great earnings in my opinion for Roblox. Obviously, that kind of decrease in cash flow from operations might be something investors should keep an eye out. I also think certain investors worry too much about revenue, where for gaming companies, I believe bookings is a better example or a better metric to follow. All right, so now let's take a quick look at some of the highlights for Roblox. And I think these highlights are what make the huge bullish case for this company. So Roblox is not just a gaming world, a gaming company, right? I don't think it ever was, but now we can see users using Roblox for other types of experiences. On November 29th of 2021, so a few weeks ago, the first ever fashion award for Metaverse design was done on Roblox. And if you guys are familiar with Roblox, you can see, you know that there are content creators out there that make kind of digital clothes, so digital assets for your avatar. And there was a kind of group that decided 5 nominees that had done amazing job on the Roblox platform. They kind of created this fashion event experience that many people were able to join. The actual winner of the event, and this is what I think is crazy, the actual winner of the event was presented the award by Alexandro Mikel, I believe. And this is the creative director of Gucci. So they had a big name in the real life fashion industry provide an award for a digital asset fashion show. I think that is insane. It just shows how this market is growing, right? It shows that this is not just a kid's game anymore. We also have seen other things. For example, on November 10th, Ty Verdes, which is a singer, a performer who got very popular in TikTok. Obviously, he has other hits worldwide, but he did a kind of concert in Roblox. Many people are doing this. And the great thing about this is, hey, it brings new listeners to the artists, those who are already in Roblox, right? They kind of find new artists through this platform. But it also brings those artists, consumers or listeners or fans into the Roblox metaverse. So introduces both new users for the artists and also new users for the platform. We also see Nike just recently opened up their Nike Land, where you can kind of purchase assets of Nike material for your avatar. They also kind of try to make it active, that if you're playing mobile, you can kind of shake your phone, and the more you shake your phone, the more active you are, the faster your avatar goes. So it's kind of the metaverse promoting that fitness aspect as well. And the one that I thought was also pretty insane outside of that fashion show to me was insane, especially who was the one presenting the award. I thought it was pretty intense. But they're also having kind of music festivals. I'm personally not a huge music person myself, but they had over 50 artists on October 20th, I believe, October 23rd to October 25th. They had like this virtual concert, an actual music festival where they had numerous different artists performing, and you can kind of join in as an avatar and go enjoy the performance live, right? So I think that's pretty interesting. It shows you how this Roblox meta platform or metaverse is already working, and it's not something so far off in the future. Obviously, some people may kind of distinguish that, hey, the graphics look a bit weak, but the experience is still strong. And this is something we're going to continue to see, I think, as companies continue to create experiences. I believe these types of experiences are the ones that are driving this 13 and over fan base. The final thing in highlights I do want to mention is Roblox is also becoming an education platform for the metaverse. They want everyone to have access to opportunities in the metaverse, and their goal is to support over 100 million students learning on their platform by 2030. And here, if you go to education Roblox, if you have a child, or if you yourself want to learn how to kind of use Roblox and kind of get some coding fundamentals, they have classes for that, and most of them are completely free to do. And I think this is a great move, right? Because not only is it beneficial for a student, for kids to kind of get into the coding, which I believe it's going to be one of the biggest marketplaces in the future. The more creators we have, the more assets they have, the more experiences they have, the more experiences they have, the more consumers they have. So it's pretty much a full circle there. I think that's also pretty interesting. Some things to note, right? On November 18th, two analysts have come out with price target increase. We can see this price target to 125 from 110, and then this one came out to 150. This is a very, very bullish analyst right now, from $88, and just cites strong core trends, and they keep their overweight rating. So we can see analysts are very bullish in Roblox right now. I do want to say there are some bearish things to keep in mind of. First thing I want to say is, because of the metaverse, I do think just the word metaverse has really driven some form of high expectations for Roblox. So to some extent, I do believe it's priced to perfection. So if there's ever a slip up, if there's ever a kind of a quarter, and 1 quarter of bad slowdown can really happen depending on what's happening in the real world, that can kind of really cause stock prices to drop. I do want to say right now, if we take a look at price to sales ratio forward 1 year, it's about 20. Normally, I mean, it's been sitting in the low teens. So for it to jump this high, it kind of tells me, hey, this is a little bit valued to perfection. Obviously, stock prices can continue to go up, but I just want to say that causes a huge concern of volatility. The second thing I do want to mention is, if I take a look at my technicals, I do believe the chart is a bit overextended. Again, this doesn't guarantee a pullback. It just tells me that, hey, there is a possibility for high volatility. Finally, they did, not too long ago, but late October 27th, 2021, they did announce a pricing of $1 billion for senior notes due 2030. These senior notes are due so far in the future with the low interest rates. I think it's great news for them to kind of build up some cash on cheap money. That's the kind of investor I am. There are some people that might find this kind of bearish. This is a company already super positive in cash flow from operations. Why do they need to build up cash? So right now, at the end of the day, this is, if it was to ever enter my portfolio, I do not own Roblox. This would be a tier 2 stock. I really do enjoy the concept that they're doing, the growth that they're seeing, and those highlights are super impressive. But right now, if I was to enter Roblox, it would be a very low dollar cost averaging. This is where I would just nibble in positions, nowhere where I would kind of open or really build that position up. Bullish case, like I said, older players entering the market, big companies using Roblox for more than just gaming. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good night, and see you next time.